Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This episode, we're going to do a custom boot install, if you can call it that. So, as you can notice, the hood lining is not back in yet. The interior is still the way it was when we first started. So, the plan of attack is we need to get this back seat out. The rear firewall needs to be sealed, so I need to get in there and tin that off and seal it up. The same with the rear quarter panel vents on the passenger side in the back of the boot. And then I'm going to be stripping the fuel cell out. We'll go and have a look. Excuse the mess. It has been used as a paint supplies cupboard. Fuel cells coming out, fuel pumps are coming out. As you can see, we run two Holly style black pumps and twin lines. So those two lines go all the way up the front, one each feeds one carby, so pretty straightforward. Going to take all this out. I'm going to get a good pressure wash and blast it all out. Those are the two vents I was talking about that we're going to seal up. Then I'm going to rattle can black the footwell, well the spare wheel well, and I have a carpet to go in here and up over the back of the boot lip here, and we'll scrub up and polish up the fuel cell, make it look a little bit prettier, tidy up the fuel pumps, and we're getting a couple of new filters to go in line with them. They're just a Commodore, early Commodore barbed in and out style rather than the screw fittings. It's a very simple, cheap fuel system for a carby. We don't need much in the end. It is just an Ecotech, so it doesn't need a whole lot, but it is two 500 ollies on top there at the moment, and it will be upgraded shortly and going over to two 4 barrels, and they're both 600s. So if anybody was going to turn around and say that two 500 ollies is too much for an Ecotech, I'm going to chuck on two 600 4 barrels just to say it can be done. So I will chuck you on time lapse while I strip this boot out and get this back seat out, and then I will revisit and show you what we got and what our plan of attack is to get this thing sorted. Okay, as you can see, the boot is fuel tank and fuel pump free. I have also got the rear seat out, other than the centre section, which has lost its knob. So I am going to have to figure out a way of getting in here and releasing that somehow. I've had a look, and it's pretty much blank in here, so not sure how that's going to go. It's going to be interesting. I've got a couple of holes to patch in the back here, probably speaker holes. There's two up there, and then this one, this big hole here, I patch with I've got some no entry signs that come into my existence at some point over the history at some stage somehow, and they'll go nicely there. So I will get them out of the shed and start getting them organised, but I need to get that centre section out of that boot, out of that back seat there. Otherwise I am not doing anything. But this thing is empty. I might give it a bit of a brush out first. Got a little bit of fuel just dribbling out of the hose. This made a bit of a mess. She's filthy in here. I'm not gonna hide away from this. It's been open like that, and holes for 2 or 3 years of doing speedway events and gravel roads on the way to events and stuff like that, and it's just got atrocious. So it's time for a birthday. I'll have a crack at trying to get this thing out, and then I'll come back when I'm about to do some work in here. Well, after much thinking about it, screwed into the top of it and pulled it out, so that is out. Good news. Now I can move on to getting this thing sealed. I let the YouTube world down again. So I forgot to press record on the GoPro. Luckily I haven't got too far ahead. Now it's probably going to look like I've gone far ahead, but in actual fact I haven't. But it's just a big step. Dumbass. I could probably take it out, but then that's stupid. So I put the carpet in, laid the carpet down, laid the carpet in and just cut it around the brackets and cut a little slot for the fuel lines to poke through, and then all I did was just rattle can matte black everywhere. Now I was doing the right thing and talking to the camera and just showing you guys exactly what I was doing, but unfortunately it was to no point if you don't press record on the camera. So what I'm going to do now is I've got the vacuum cleaner out, and we are going to just give it all a good vacuum clean up, and then I've got to get the fuel cell out and give that a good polish and a clean up, and then I'll start putting it all back together again. So this is just, I pulled this out, the carpets, they had the two side ones. I do have the spare wheel one, but I'm not putting that in because that's why I've rattle canned it, because I'm not running a spare wheel, and then I don't want the spare wheel cover carpet just flapping around. So these are loose because you need to put the tail lights in, so they'll go back in when we put the tail lights back in. But this carpet here and this one, I've got a VR Calais in the backyard that's seen better days, so I stole them from the back of that, because that's where we got the boot from. And yeah, so they just tidy up the boot in this thing. So I'll get the vacuum cleaner out and go through that, give it a good clean, and then we'll go through just giving everything a polish up. We did find that the fuel filters were completely blocked. Well, obviously not completely because they were still working, but enough that they would be not healthy. So we'll get a couple of those. I think I said that earlier in the video. We'll get a couple of brand new ones of those, but it definitely needs it. I'll clean the pumps up and get everything all back situated in. Everything's ready to rock and roll except for a couple of filters. So yeah, we'll come back shortly. Keep watching on the time lapse. Enough grass seeds in here to restart the world's plant population should we have an asteroid. Get rid of everything that's a living organism on the planet. Okay, cool. Vacuum out. Look, it's not going to be perfect. I'm not stressed over it being perfect. It's going to get dirty in the back here. I haven't cleaned it. I just vacuumed it. Put the plug back in the bottom of there. Obviously, we still need to blank off those two holes and that one over there. But I am at the point now where I'm going to clean up the fuel cell and mount that back in here and get that part of it and the fuel pumps cleaned up and mounted back in here and ready to rock and roll before I move on to those two blanking plates, and it'll be close to being finished in here. So looking good, happy with it so far. Actually looks like a boot. Alright, just going to give it a bit of a degrees. And a wipe over before I get stuck into it. She's got some shit on it. This thing's been on the back of the 1-tonner. It was in the back of the original MANGDUP. So the white VX sedan It was on the 1 tonner for a little while in honour, and then we put that on methanol. So although it's not going to stay methanol, but it's we swapped over and put an 80 litre fuel cell on the back of that. So that should be enough for that thing. But 40 litres is enough in the back of this thing too, so unless we change to methanol or something, which I don't see us doing anytime soon, so it can just stay the way it is. So I'm kicking the camera a lot today. Are you still straight or what? Yeah, good enough. So Dad's still going on the car trailer. He's making good progress with that. Just doing the brakes and the some tail lights and a couple of bits and pieces on that boot pack and some wheel bearings. Nothing too exciting, but it all needs to be done before we go away. So I'm plodding along with the car, he's plodding along with the trailer. Cool, alright. Well, I'm going to try a couple of bits and pieces to see if I can get this up. I haven't got any metal polish, so I do have some normal car polish and a buffer, so we'll give that a crack, see how that comes up. there's one idiot that drops the solder on the carpet. Got it. Alright. Well, that's pretty much it for the boot install for fuel system back in and carpets in. Just need to now sort out blanking out those two and the firewall. So I'm going to go and have a bite because it looks like it might shower on our heads, and pack up a few things so they don't get wet, and come back after lunch and have a crack at doing that. Alright guys, we'll see you soon. Well, no entry apparently, but I've got some marks on here. I'll put one in here, meter here, thank you. I've done a couple of notches on here to go around wheel brackets, seat brackets, etc. Those marks on the other one are for those that side over there, and I'll cut him off what'll be left of, so that one will back this side. There's a mark here, cut that there. That'll be the last bit to do the back seat, and this bit here will be enough to blank off down there. So fingers crossed, that's the way it works. I'll just finish making a few marks on here, go and cut a few more bits and pieces, and I'll come back and see how it fits up, and we'll get some pop rivets and pop river in. Okay, I'm back. We've made up some plates. Let's get some stuff put in place, eh? The old back doesn't really like it. But no one's complaining. Right, in theory, that should be blanked off. Hopefully that's good enough standards. We'll soon tell. And hopefully it lines up for me to get it in. So, the back end of my tails. Let's get some. There we go. And I'm going to mat black up there too. I'm just going to cut that carpet out of the way. So I've been copping a bit of flack lately that Dad seems to be doing all the work and I'm not doing anything. Well, you've just watched a whole video where I did everything. And I'm pretty happy.
And Dad's been sitting here watching.
Dad's been watching. So the boot install is finished. I'm pretty happy with how it's come up. It's nothing special, that's for sure. It's just a recarpeted factory boot with the fuel cell and everything put back in again. So I'm pretty happy with that. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that sort of stuff. And what?
2 new fuel filters.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. We clean the fuel pumps out and the fuel filters are blocked, so we'll get some of them when we go to Perth. So that's the only thing that is missing. So we'll just put them in line when we pick them up from Perth next week. So everything's all good. We are moving along steady, on track, but we are on track. So thanks very much for watching and we'll see you on the next episode.